Hello, this is Khabir Southwick, a traditional naturopath, Ayurvedic practitioner, and herbalist in beautiful Ojai, California. Thank you once again for joining me. The subject of our talk here is the Ayurvedic perspective on hypertension. Hypertension is, of course, a modern term, but in ancient Vedic literature, there's a description that's quite similar called Shira Hinodana, and Shira means blood vessels, and Abhinodana means tension. So this corresponds quite clearly to the modern concept of hypertension. Shira Hinodana is a condition where the venous blood stagnates and exerts pressure on the blood vessel wall. When pitta or inflammation is involved, this venous hypertension may lead to varicose veins and a tendency to bruise easy. Of course, there's other types of hypertension, but in Ayurveda, the other type, which relates more to an increased intra-arterial pressure, is also mentioned in Ayurveda, and these are the two main categories. But what we're going to look at today is understanding the types of hypertension based on Ayurvedic teachings, because it's only when you understand your type of Ayurvedic type of hypertension, which is to a large degree your cause, then only then can you know the treatment protocol, the proper diet, the proper foods, the proper lifestyle habits, and the proper herbal treatments that would be suitable for pacifying and reducing your hypertension. And that's the goal of our talk today, is to classify or to understand these three major types of hypertension according to Ayurveda. This is the Vata type, the Kapha type, and the Pitta type. Of course, the Vata, the main site of Vata in the body is in the colon, and this is where toxins in the colon can be absorbed in the blood and cause constriction in the blood vessels, especially the arteries. Now this, when you have Vata in the colon, this is dry, this is cold, and ultimately resulting in constipation. So this type of person probably has a long history of constipation, and then a certain autotoxicity results over time, and these toxins circulate through the blood and constrict the blood vessels. So detoxifying the colon can treat this type of hypertension. Psychologically, this type of hypertension is also associated and exacerbated by fear, anxiety, stress, and insecurity, which can also lead to the constriction of blood vessels and produce hypertension. So you'd want to follow the Vata pacifying diet, nervine, sedative herbs to reduce anxiety, stress, fear, as well as detox and cleanse the colon. Now, in Ayurveda, the small intestines is a site of Pitta. So Pitta type of hypertension comes from toxins from undigested foodstuff in the intestines, which produces a type of ama, or undigested foodstuff, which moves through the general circulation. Hypertension of this type is due to the increased viscosity of the blood, because bile is pitta in nature, and this fatty, oily substance makes the blood viscous. And because of this increased viscosity, the blood exerts pressure on the blood vessels. In this pitta type of hypertension, the person may exhibit psychological symptoms such as judgment, criticism, anger, hate, envy, jealousy. So these emotions in themselves can increase blood pressure. And of the three types, it's the pitta type has the most susceptibility to a high blood pressure, and this is often exacerbated by their nature of being driven, critical, angry, and hot-tempered. Now, the Kapha type of hypertension originates in the stomach, which is the main site of Kapha, and Kapha-like gastric secretions are involved in the digestion of carbohydrates, starch, and glucose. The end product of this phase of digestion is triglycerides. When a kapha in the stomach is disturbed, this is the mucosa in the stomach, there's an increase in triglycerides and cholesterol, which is also another type of kapha molecule. The result is that the blood becomes more viscous, and the kapha type of hypertension causes fatty molecules to deposit in the blood vessels walls, which leads to narrowing of the arteries and possible heart attack. So this is more of a high triglycerides, high cholesterol, blocking the arteries, completely different than the pitta or vata type. The vata type has a lot more, is affected by the anxiety, nervousness, and the toxicities resulting from constipation, while the pitta type has the undigested foods going through the bloodstream and creating a type of toxicity and ultimately inflammation, and is aggravated by anger and hate and jealousy. So this is help you to understand the three types, and if you have high blood pressure, it's quite clear in most cases to see which of the three categories you're in. Of course, other important factors in hypertension is the functioning of the kidneys, which regulates the entire water system of the body, and often kidneys, due through poor function or blockage or even kidney stones, can increase blood pressure. So there's many causes to hypertension, and various urinary dysfunctions can also lead to hypertension. So any of these other causes can also increase it. But the first step is to understand your type from an Ayurvedic perspective, and then that will help you to understand the type of foods and diet and herbal substances, which will help you to naturally lower your blood pressure. So of course, heart disease is a very serious and potentially life-threatening illness, so you must continue to see your physician or your cardiologist on a regular basis if you have high blood pressure. And if you're taking medications for heart disease, you should consult your doctor or a medical consultant about stopping or reducing any dosage. This video is not meant to provide a cure or a diagnosis or treat your high blood pressure, but to help you understand the different types of hypertension according to Ayurveda. I hope that helped you, and in future videos we will cover different type of treatment approaches for the three different types of hypertension according to Ayurveda. Thank you once again.